Hey, so I'm making one last Magicline build for the league most likely. Maybe I'll do more stuff later, but yeah, for now this will be the last Magicline build. It's going to be Tornado Shot Ellie. I've got a lot of questions like, do I play Tornado Shot Fizz? Do I play Tornado Shot Ellie? Like, when do I switch? And the answer is, you do not play Fizz Tornado Shot until you have a mirror to your bow. The reason why is non-mirror to your Fizz bows are really bad for Magicline builds. So until you have a mirror to your bow, play Tornado Shot Ellie. It's way cheaper. The bows are way better for the price. So yeah, here's a POB. So this bow right here, and this reason why Ellie is so much better than Fizz early on. This bow is 35 divines currently. I checked right before I made this video. It was like 3 or 4 of these, 35 to 40 divines. It's 1340 LA DPS, 1460 total DPS. A Fizz bow for the same price, it's going to be like 600 to 700 DPS, like pretty much half. This is why I say Fizzbow is really bad until you have a mirror to your bow. So yeah, Ellie bows are really effective. You'll notice there's no plus arrows on this bow either. And the reason for that is we're using tattoos. So yeah, this total build cost is Headhunter plus roughly 200 or divines or so, maybe 150, 200 divines. If you're really good at like crafting your own items, shopping correctly, you can definitely get it for on the cheaper end. If you're just buying everything outright, it'll cost you a little bit more, right? So yeah, the reason why we're able to use this bow without any plus arrows is because of tattoos. So we're using 3 projectile tattoos. So this is like 30 divines, but it's very well worth it. So yeah, we have 1, 2, and 3. Which point's not supposed to be here? Yeah, but specifically, this warrior's tail is really insane value, even though it's a cluster jewel slot, because you're hitting 2 projectile tattoos. So you're getting 5 total projectiles just from your tattoos. It's pretty insane offs, honestly. And it doesn't even cost that much points, right? Like, this is 3 points essentially, but these 2 points, right, do actually give some amount of damage. So you're really only wasting 1 point here to get this projectile tattoo. So yeah, you're getting 5 from tattoos, 2 from here, and then 1 more from your quiver. So plus 8 arrows for a total of 9 arrows without endless munitions and without a plus 2 bow. So obviously when you upgrade your gear, you get a plus 2 bow, you're going to be like at 11 arrows. You get forbidden jewels, you get 13 arrows. It gets pretty absurd, right? So yeah, this is why like this build is relatively cheap for the high performance, because you can get a really high LED PS bow without needing plus hours on it, because tattoos are honestly just OP, right? So yeah, that's pretty much like the whole like build concept of how I made this build relatively on the cheaper end while still having a lot of arrows, and you still get to use all the really nice Deadeye ascendancy nodes, right? Like focal point, gather winds, ricochet, and far shot without needing endless munitions. All because of tattoos. The only other thing to talk about really is you get phase in from this unnatural instinct right here. This Lethal Pride has 4x double damage. Now you don't need 4x double damage. You can get 3x double damage and some other damage mods, right? Or life, stuff like that. But it's really easy to get 4x double damage because you have so many notables to hit. To be precise, you have exactly 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Right? You have 12 different notables to hit. So 4x double damage is honestly not too bad to get. But if it's like too expensive or whatever, just get 3x double damage and get like maybe like 1 or 2 life ones. So yeah, this is really easy to buy. You don't need this exact jewel, just use a timeless jewel calculator. Outside of that, yeah, your defense is really solid, as you can see, for a Magicline build, right? 9k Fizz max hit, 34k Ali max hit, pretty good for a Magicline build. 4k life, 24k evasion, and you're almost spell suppress cap with 30% move speed. Just 30% move speed with a headhunter. So obviously you'll go faster if you steal haste buffs and stuff, right? You're also using Berserk, of course, 6 rage per second. Nothing great, but it is still quite good to use Berserk. Now, one thing to note is this Keystone right here. You do not need Call to Arms, but if you do hit Call to Arms, and I have it noted right here, then use Enduring Cry, as this will be more rage per second essentially. But you just want essentially any keystone that does not brick your build. What do I mean by brick your build? For example, if you got like elemental overload, this bricks your build, right? This straight up bricks your build. You see your damage is completely cut in half. So you just want to use the Journey Tattoo to get any keystone that does not brick your build. Call to Arms is the best if you do hit it, but it's not needed. So you can get something like Leafy Shade, some other stuff. Elder's Battery doesn't really break your build as you don't use ES. Obviously Call to Arms, as we just said. Stuff like that, right? Versatile Combatant, right? Just does nothing, but it also doesn't brick your build. Maybe just like some other good ones. Versatile Technique bricks your build. We won't want that. Yeah, but yeah, there's a lot of keystones. Iron Will, right? Doesn't do anything to break your build. Stuff like that. So yeah, just any keystone that does not brick your build you want here. But Call to Arms is the best if you want to go for it. But you don't need it. Just any keystone. The reason why you need to grab this, like if you don't have any keystone here, is that Perfect Agony bricks your build, right? And you need this allocated for the projectile tattoo. So this has to be allocated, and you need a keystone that does not brick your build, and Call to Arms is the best. So yeah, hopefully I explained that well enough. Yeah, and outside of that, that's pretty much for the whole passive skill tree. Rest is standard MF gear, nothing special here. This Great Wolf does have multi, and you can drop more quant if you need to get more multi. Just because the multi on this is really a lot of damage for this build, so I would even go to like 14% quant here if that's what it takes to get a cheap Eyes of the Great Wolf of multi. It's just a lot of damage. Gold Worms, you want Regen Life Corruption, is for higher rage uptime. Comms, you want attack crit, it's a lot of damage. Greeds, you can get any corruption here. I don't have a corruption on here, but you can get like percent damage, reduce damage from crits, stuff like that. Low socket of gems, also fine. Home enchant, using Berserk effect, but Chain Shot enchant's also fine. You can use either or. I guess the only other thing to say is the Flask. So we're in our calcs. We're 82% quant currently, 258% rarity. But if you do want more rarity, you can use a gold flask instead a Progenesis. This will make you more squishy, but you're still, decently tanky enough. And then your rarity goes up to 338%. So that is an option. But I do recommend Progenesis. But if you do feel like, hey, you don't need it, like you're good enough to play without this, then use a gold flask for more rarity. So yeah, that's pretty much the whole build. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. I also stream on Twitch daily, so if you want to ask a question and want me to answer immediately, just join my Twitch. But yeah, that's about it.